Hey YouTubers, we're on the sawmill here. Got a little bit done today. Didn't work on it long. We do have all the log clamps done and the log stops. There's one, I made that one with a roller on the top. And there's another one with a roller on the top. So you got like 6 stops now, and you have 4 log clamps, so that ought to be sufficient. There's one. There's one, and there's one. Got another jack welded on it. We'll get those put on as we get them. The roof, I think I already filmed, is on here. Mechanical stops are on it, and we got these. Got the guards made. If I can get it out of there by hand with one hand. Anyway. Access to the blade. Just put a pin in there, or 5/16 bolt is all it amounts to. Line it back up. There we go. And that's all that holds it together. So there we go. Can't remember what all we did do to it. Just been working on it when I get the opportunity. So, but that's. I was going to make that out of expanded metal. I don't know how many of you have this issue, but when I went to get it, it was missing. So that's a different story. But I think we're going to have to have some cameras put up or something. Anyway, I'll give anything about it and someone about anything I got, but I really don't like for something to be missing when I need it. But ended up using some old sheet metal I had here from where we fixed the Dakota. It's brand new sheet metal, and just piece it together. It'll keep a blade from hurting you. Did some more welding on it. There's one of them. Just kind of unhacking it. That's about it. The thing, I pulled it over here so I can clean up over there. I got an awful mess. So also wanted to get where I can get the stick welder to it, because I'm going to permanently attach this extension. See where it unbolts right here, and I'm going to put an axle under it. And I think I'm going to make the axle one of those trailer axles over there. I'm going to cut it in half and make it similar to these, where you can slide it into a tube each half, and jack your sawmill up with your jacks and get it level, and then pull 2 pins and slide the axles out from under it, so they're not in the way when you're trying to cut. So that's the way this is set up, and it's really pretty brilliant. It's a good idea. They put the axle too far forward, in my opinion, and this is an old steel axle. I'm sure it's made for pull around with a tractor or a mule or whatever the Amish use, and so I'll move it back probably 6 feet, and we'll weld that extension on with the stick welder. That's basically, well, it is small gauge railroad iron is what this frame's made out of. So in order to burn that in correctly, we'll use the old stick welder. And having a hell of a time finding scissor jacks. I've probably thrown away 1,000 of them in my life, but anyway, if I got any scissor jacks, I'd like to have it. But also change this tongue. I mean, you don't need a piece of railroad iron for a tongue, for one thing. Second of all, it's not long enough. When you have that sawmill pulled clear up here, your turning radius with your truck could be pretty tight. So what I'll do is probably take the tongue out another 2 feet, and it doesn't need to go all the way back there either. You can stop it here, weld it there, put a couple gussets on it. That'll move this thing. Anyway, you could take it to California if you wanted to. Anyway, the roof, like I said, is on it, as you can see, and just been working on it when I get a chance and when I feel like it. It's just it's coming along slowly, but we're gonna get this mess cleaned up and start cutting a few logs down, and be using it a little bit, and I'm sure it'll be the first probably 10 or 12 years you have this thing. It'll be work it and rebuild it, work it and rebuild it, until I finally get aggravated and build a new saw carriage and all. But that's probably reality. But in my mind, I'm thinking I'll use it a little bit and fix what's wrong with it, and use it a little bit, fix what's wrong with it until I've got it straightened out. But I know in my heart that eventually I will probably widen that carriage or this frame and build a new carriage for the saw head and just start over. But anyway, till that day, if we can saw enough lumber to frame this garage, as you can see, I've got enough lumber here if I wanted to cut it, and I've got about 6 acres of woods at another location that I could use. So doesn't take much of a sawmill to cut rough lumber. You know, it's not what I'm doing here is not cabinetry work. So if I can get this piece of junk to saw out a couple pickup truckloads of lumber, it'll be paid for. At the price of lumber right now, they're $8 or something for a 2x4. So, and these rafters here got to be almost 20 feet long to span from there down to that pole. Is about 19 feet. From that one to that one, I think it's about 12, and that one over to that one is about 14. So you go buying those things, especially these 20-footers. This old sawmill looks pretty handsome. So that's what's on my mind. And it's not that I think this is a great piece. I think it's a piece of shit, but I also think I can make it work enough to way more than make my money back on it. As it stands right now, I've made several off the cuff estimates, but the motor right there was $620 some, I think. The belts, the blade, welding materials and all that, I've still got less than $1,200 in this saw right now. So I give $300, I think, for the saw, the sawmill itself. So, you know, I got it right. I bought it for what the pulleys and stuff would cost me. So, you know, and I enjoy fooling with this stuff. So it's getting close to being able to get a return on my investment. Not so much money, but time and effort. You know, I don't have a lot of spare time sometimes, so I'd like to get a return on it. So if I can get a stack of lumber here and start framing this, and that would tickle me to death. So and if it comes off this sawmill, it'll be even more rewarding. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching, and if you stay tuned, eventually, I promise you, I will not run this thing looking like this. There'll be some point where I'll take a day and do nothing but grind on it, and we will spray some kind of paint on it. My daughter thinks it needs to be red. I'm not really partial to what color, I don't care, but we will spray it one color, and we're going to put some rubber tires on it and a tongue and use it, and hopefully we can use it for years. So thanks for watching, and if you can, like and subscribe. Got any questions, comments, put them in there, and I'll always return some kind of an answer. So thanks a lot.